Okay, going home. My wife likes to watch period movies, stories that take place during the classical era or the Baroque era, and I enjoy watching them with her, even though the historical inaccuracies. One of the things that always annoys me a little bit is how great everybody's teeth and skin looks. Historically, we know that bathing and cleanliness were not a top priority. As a matter of fact, that's why perfumes were developed, to cover up the smell of the people. I was reading something recently that said that royalty tend to be a little bit cleaner than the common folk, and that Queen Elizabeth bathed once a month. We even watched a movie recently that involved King Louis XIV, and of course everybody looks beautiful. Everybody's hair looked great, and their skin looked great, and their teeth very white. But we know that King Louis XIV was not particularly a clean person. And of course, that was just the trend at the time. I remember reading a story when I was in college that stated that an ambassador from Russia visiting King Louis XIV commented that the king smelled like a wild animal. Historically, I've read that Russians were a bit cleaner during that time and that they bathed once a month. I believe that King Louis XIV bathed twice a year. As a music major, a composer that comes to mind when we talk about cleanliness is Jean-Baptiste Lully. Pardon my French. But anyway, that's not even his real name. I believe that he was originally born Giovanni Battista Lully, but then he moved to France and he became a very good Baroque composer. Not only was he an excellent composer, but he was a great dancer and a great instrumentalist. At that time, conductors conducted orchestras in different methods. One of them was waving the rolled up score of music to conduct, but another method was to use a staff with a brass bottom to stomp the beat on the floor to keep the orchestra together. So the story goes that one evening while conducting an orchestra, Jean-Baptiste Lully, or Giovanni Battista Lully, was conducting an orchestra using a staff with a brass bottom, and he was keeping the beat by hitting the floor with the staff. So he accidentally hit his foot, and his feet were so dirty that one of his toenails got infected, and he got so infected that gangrene set in. Like I mentioned earlier, he was a composer, an instrumentalist, and a dancer. And so eventually they had to decide to cut off his leg. Well, he was a dancer, so he didn't want to have his leg cut off. So he ended up dying because of an infected toenail. So if there's a lesson in this story, in today's society, as accessible as water and soap and toothbrushes and toothpaste is to us, why take any chances? Let's stay as clean as possible.